Hello and welcome to another episode of Crizzy Books. I'm Crizzy or Criz, but only my homeboys call me Criz. And today I'm going to be doing a review for Child of God by Cormac McCarthy. In Child of God, we follow Lester Ballard. This is a Smoky Mountains, Appalachia, somewhere in Tennessee, backwoods country bumpkin. We follow him as he descends further and further into, I guess I would call, madness. He essentially becomes a serial killer and necrophiliac. So really light subjects, a whole lot of fun. I'm a pretty big fan of McCarthy. I haven't read everything by him, but what I have read, I really have enjoyed. The Road is one of my all-time favorite books. I've read Suttree, All the Pretty Horses, The Crossing. I've enjoyed pretty much all of them. And I think for me, in terms of everything I've read of his so far, this one's going to fall right behind The Road in terms of my enjoyment and the story. Just beautifully simple writing. If you're familiar with McCarthy and his writing, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And just a truly fucked up tale that's going to stick with me for a long time, I think. So let's get into what did I like, what did I not like. So in terms of what I liked, I got a lot here. So Lester as a character himself is just fascinating and terrifying. His simple-minded way of living, he's just homeless and filthy. He lives out in the woods in old deserted cabins or just wherever he can. A nasty, gross, grungy guy. Dumb as a rock, great with a rifle, which makes him incredibly dangerous. And he's super impulsive in the worst kind of ways. The other characters that he runs into and interacts with throughout this are just as backwoods and gross and they're just as bad as he is, horrifying in different ways. Specifically, like the junkyard family that he kept talking to and how the father just kind of nonchalantly talks about how he had sex with one of his daughters and there's not a lot of people in this story that you can really hold on to and say like, oh, these are good people. Yeah, I thought that all the characters and all the run-ins and even just side people, I thought they were all described really well. They felt real. Like the setting feels real as much as you want to believe that these kinds of people don't exist, which I think is what really makes the story so effective. Throughout the novel, there are kind of sub-chapters, I guess, that are word of mouth, almost like interviews, or we're just listening to somebody recount some story. Sometimes they have to do with Lester Ballard. Sometimes they don't at all. I really enjoyed these a lot. They felt very real. McCarthy and his dialogue, he's so good with dialogue. I think that these were just perfect. There's one about a guy who fights an ape at like a carnival or something. I love that one. It had me laughing out loud. It's really funny. And to just speak of McCarthy's writing itself, as I said before, beautifully simplistic. It's incredible how this guy can write something so amazing in so few words. Just so razor sharp, he's able to paint a picture with one sentence. One of the best examples in my mind in this book was him describing some hunting dogs chasing down a wild hog in the winter, and just the way that he described it, I mean, I could see it. I could see it happening. Is amazing. One of the things I really liked about this was the progression of Lester and his slow roll into fucked Uppingham. With the first time that he finds the couple doing the dirty in the car, and he just kind of JOs by the car. He doesn't do anything. Then the next time he finds that different couple and they're dead. We never actually find out what happens to them, but he finds the dead couple and does unspeakable things, then keeps her corpse and dresses her up and hides it in the shack that he's living in, eventually burns her, then goes out and starts killing other women so that he can start doing the same thing. He just snowballs into this really, really horrible backwoods serial killer that he is at the end of it. And it just gets crazier and crazier the more that it goes. And I thought that this was really effective. Just continually ramping up these horrific acts the more that he does them. I kind of already touched on this, but there's just so much like backwoods hillbilly bullshit going on in this story. If you are a fan of like True Detective Season 1, I think you might find a lot of enjoyment in this. There's not a lot to enjoy, but the book is really good, and it really kind of plays into that whole setting of like just the worst kinds of people. One of the things that stuck out to me in this that I really liked, and it was kind of a small detail, but the mental picture was really funny to me, was whenever Lester would move from place to place and he started moving into caves, he was taking these stuffed animals that he won at a carnival. He would always take them with him. And I'm sure it's just because of a lack of actual possessions. So he's just taking everything that he has with him. But it's just so funny to me to watch this hillbilly just stumbling through the mud, dirty as shit, with a stuffed tiger under his arm. Like, it's just such a funny mental picture. And yeah, again, at the end of it, I think that what makes this so effective and such a good, I mean, I'm going to say this is a horror story because it is. I think that the true horror here is that this story feels real. You go into the woods afraid of what kind of animal or creepy crawler might kill you, not thinking about, a human killing you and having sex with your body and then wearing your skin. That's way worse. So let's get into what did I not like. It's a minor gripe, and he does this in all of his books, but the lack of punctuation around dialogue, sometimes it can get confusing as to who's talking or if somebody even is talking. It's not that often that it happens, but it does. And again, also rare, but there were just a couple times where it felt like it was dragging or like maybe we're getting some stuff that isn't really necessary. Overall, I super enjoyed this. Again, I'd put it right behind the road in terms of McCarthy and what I've read of his. I'm going to give Child of God a 4.5 out of 5. I thought this was really great. I blazed through it in 2 days, so it's not a super long story. I think it's really tight. Again, his descriptions and everything else is all very simple, and it moves through really well. And just a really gruesome, chilling tale about a hillbilly serial killer. So if that sounds up your alley and you like Cormac McCarthy's writing, absolutely read this. It's really good. I really loved it. But yeah, what do you think? Have you read Child of God? Did you like it? Did you not like it? Sound off in the comments below. Be sure to hit that like button, smash the subscribe button, and as always, thank you for watching. Bye.